Here we go. Let's see what we got. There it is. Let's go, baby. Woo!
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scared Soldier back with another Borderlands 3 video, and in today's video we're going to be checking out this Moze build we put together with the crit only, because the crit right now is one of the best SMGs in the game. So if you don't have one of these, go ahead over to Sanctuary, tip Moxie a bunch of times until your finger falls off from slapping that triangle or that Y button a million times, and you guys are going to be good to go. So what we know about this weapon is that it comes in a shock element only, and it can come in a binary prefix, which is going to give you the ×2. The ×2 is going to give you more damage per second, but again, the ammo consumption is going to be a lot greater. And for reloading this weapon, you have a 5% chance of actually dropping it completely, so you're going to have to go ahead and pick it back up, and some people can actually lose it. So just be careful about that. So pretty much, with this weapon only coming in the shock element, we want to maximize this because yes, this weapon on any single build is going to be good because it's just a good weapon, but we can maximize it even further. So we have shock, cool. We need something to deal with armor and health. So the best element in the game to do both is going to be cryo. So you want next to mags deal 100% bonus cryo damage. That is going to be the best anointment in the game to complement this weapon. So with the cryo, you can deal against armored enemies, health barred enemies, and of course the shock just ripping through shields very easily. So pretty much the other anointment I love is this one right here. Next to mags give you 100% or 125% with Moze, bonus incendiary, because again, most 90% enemies in the game only have a shock health bar or just a health bar, and incendiary is the best versus health bars. So again, shock rips through shields, incendiary rips through health bars, and you're going to be just ripping through enemies in general. So one other question that you guys might have is their URAD. URAD is one of my favorite anointments in the game. I'm sure it's a lot of yours, but URAD is not good on this gun too much because again, you're already doing shock damage, which is good against shields. Radiation is also good against shields. You don't need that. Radiation will then be neutral against health bars, which is cool, kind of like the cryo, but then the drop off will be against armor. Radiation is really not good against armor. So if you go against the Valkyrie squad or Wotan, you're not going to get a lot of damage versus if you had cryo or at least you had corrosive. So make sure to not use the URAD for this weapon if you can. And most enemies, most characters in the game, are not good with deathless builds anyways. So the fact that you can actually use next to mags is pretty much universal for most characters in the game. So that is pretty much that. Now, next thing is going to be the class mod. So the class mod you want is the green monster. The green monster is going to give you that corrosive damage because that is pretty much what we're missing for elements. And this is going to help us for Wotan fights and all that kind of stuff. So pretty much after firing for a few seconds, Mo's weapon gains bonus corrosive damage the longer she continually fires, the greater the bonus. This is actually a lot said in one thing, and what it's missing is that it actually gives you like a hidden splash damage. So basically, it's kind of like a Blastmaster also included in this. So make sure you throw on a green monster because it's quite good and quite rewarding. It's going to boost some splash damage. It's also going to give you a lot of corrosive damage. So throw on this if you can. Now, of course, using the ×2, it's going to be hard to continually shoot. So if you want to just keep spraying and spraying and spraying, what's going to happen is you're going to want the ×1 instead. Now, when you're using the ×2, though, make sure you have a fat mag size, and it's going to compensate because you're going to be holding that trigger for a while, and you're not going to be holding the trigger for a long time versus normal enemies anyways in the game. You're only going to be holding it down long for Wotan, and that's when it's going to count the most, so don't even worry about that. Now, for the shield, just Old God give you bonus elemental damage, cloning magnet tracker, and then of course you want the Pearl or any kind of Victory Rush, Snowdrift, or Atom Bomb. Just make sure it has mag size at least, and then you guys are good to go. Here's the skill tree real quick, guys. Nothing too exciting in the skill tree department, just picking up some key skills. We wanted Forge because we want to maintain the actual mag size, so we don't have to reload the gun too often, which would be nice. So we lessen our chance of throwing it away. And with more points from the green monster and scorching RPMs, we're actually increasing our critical hit damage, which is great because this gun already provides another 150% bonus critical damage, which makes this weapon so good via the name being called the crit. That is that. We have big surplus because it's pretty much broken right now. And then we have the short fuse as well because these are just mandatory things to have when you are creating a Moze. So that is pretty much the build, guys. We're going to be showing you some gameplay of this awesome setup. So let's get right into it. Jumping straight into the Mountain Wall takedown, guys, with the build, with the crit, and all that good stuff. So I don't really want to call it too much of a build because you can basically take this gun anywhere you want on any build, any character, and it's going to be good. This is more of a video to show how you can optimize the gun itself, because there's a lot of people who can attain it. All you got to do is tip Moxie and then you can have the weapon. It's not too hard to get. So with that being said, it's just all about optimizing the weapon, and that's what we're doing. Now, starting off with the character, I find Moze is just the best with this weapon, because one of the main penalties of this weapon that sucks is, of course, when you reload, you have a 5% chance for this gun to drop. Now, if you're close to an edge or a ledge or whatever, then you have a chance of actually losing this gun and have to refarm or retip Moxie, and maybe you have a specific role that you liked and it may take a while for you to get it back, and it can be annoying. So with Moze, she mitigates a lot of that reloading because she has a bunch of ammo regen in her setup, especially if you maybe don't choose to use the binary, the ×2 version of this weapon. You will pretty much be able to sustain your ammo consumption enough to where you can just hold down the trigger for a long time without reloading, which is really, really good. So that's exactly why I love this gun on Moze. Now, moving forward, also, this weapon has health steal of 8%, I believe, which is quite crazy. So you don't even need to rely on throwing your grenades with Vampire with this weapon. And also, you can imagine how cool this weapon is also on a deathless setup, because you can basically, with a bloodletter, just every time you shoot an enemy, you just regenning your fat shield, and it just keeps going on and on and on. I did do this build originally with a deathless setup, but again, I didn't even need a deathless setup because I just felt like Zane with all his health steal, just I can shoot an enemy, get all my health back, and I'm good to go. So with that being said, I didn't need to sacrifice damage at all in order for sustainability with Moze, which is absolutely insane. So without all that being said, guys, this weapon is awesome when you throw on cryo next to mags. Make sure you do that so it's a universal setup. And of course, the green monster just giving you that next step or level up, because the green monster, where it really comes in handy is for fights like this, because you're going to be holding down the trigger a lot more. If you notice, against all these normal enemies in the game, I literally took 2-3 shots and they were dead. So the green monster wasn't really in full effect, because for it to actually be full effect, you want to shoot for about 3 to 4 or 5 seconds for that corrosive damage to build up and actually do some real damage, where most of the case you're going to be 2 to 3 shotting enemies, so you're not going to be getting a lot of bonuses from the green monster just yet. But when you're holding down the trigger against an enemy as big as Wotan, that is when that corrosive damage really steps up, to whereas there's going to be a huge damage drop off if you were just relying on the shock damage, which is why I want to show you this combination with the green monster, Moze, and this skill tree setup. So go ahead and try it out for yourselves. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We're very close to 3K subs. We're going to be actually getting an Elgato really soon to actually up the quality of the videos. So just show your appreciation. Smash that like for your boy. Thank you guys all to the OG subscribers on this channel. I'll catch you in the next one. It's your boy Scared Soldier signing out. Peace.